Yo, Fractals family. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me again. Today's video, we're talking about 6 fragrances here that I got lined up that make a good first impression, or a lasting impression, however you want to call it. I'm going to call it a first impression. Makes a good first impression because that's what counts, most days, most times, you're only going to get one impression. Sometimes if you want more, that first impression has to be the good impression. So I got 6 fragrances here lined up for you. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me. A bit of a disclaimer, I'd like to tell you guys that, like I said, I'm just getting started with this. Been in the game for a few months, 4 months, somewhere in there, 5 months, not exactly. Been a relatively short time in the game because I collect fragrances anyway, y'all. Like I said, my son said, hey, go ahead and start making some videos, shoot some content, get a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera. So that's what I'm doing. And like I said, I shoot all my videos on my phone and I edit all my videos on my computer. So, if I can do it, you can do it. I just wanted to mention that as more of encouraging words. But back into the topic, I got 6 fragrances here we're going to talk about that make a good first impression. Some of these are a little bit on the expensive end. Some of these are pretty cheap, but I only got 6 of them. So, they're kind of in between mismatch. So I'm going to stifle through all of these the best way I can. So for the first one everyone should know about, I'm going to roll right into this. This one is from Dior. This is the 2025 version, guys, and this is Dior Homme Intense. Let me tell you guys, you're getting that iris, woody, a little bit powdery iris. It's not as powdery as the Parfum Dior Homme, but like they said, it's intense, so you're getting a bit more of the woodiness in this one. You're getting with a little bit more of the musky, violet earthiness out of the DNA on this. Perfect first impression. People are going to smell this and they're going to think, man, this is a wonderful scent, man. Got to take the time to recognize it sometimes. But yeah, they're going to think that this is the one. You're the one. This is the one that's, this guy makes a lot of money, or he's about business. This is something you got to put into your repertoire. A little bit expensive. Of course, this is one that is worth it, guys. So in the number 6 spot, we have Dior Homme Intense. All right, in the number 5 spot, we got another one that's kind of in the mid-range of affordability. If you want to make that first impression, this is one you have to get in your collection. By Armani, this is the one I prefer for the first impression smell catalog, or one of them. We only got 6 here, so let's stay in line with it, y'all, with Stronger With You Intensely, y'all. The Intensely. Of course, they got the Parfum, absolutely, all the other flankers. Those tend to put you in a deeper space, more of in a nighttime space. Now, this is the one, the more versatile one. It's going to make the first impression. You can wear this, anytime. People say you can't wear this in the summer, but summer nights, yes, you can. So if you're trying to make that first impression on it for a date, just going out and you're in the crowd, maybe the club or the party, gonna be a lot of hugging, a lot of what's ups. This is one that's gonna make a first impression, guys. A good one. Vanilla, sweet, ambery, powdery, aromatic, soft, spicy. You got a little bit of caramel in here, a little bit of nuttiness. This is the one that's gonna take you there. In the number 5 spot, that is Stronger With You Intensely. All right, guys, we're back in the number 4 spot. This is one I will stand by. This is a cheapie by the House of Banana Republic. Now, I'm going to do a video here soon. I don't know when, but I got about 13 or 14 Banana Republic fragrances. And I would like to do a ranked video on all those Banana Republic fragrances that I have. I don't know, maybe about 15 of them. And I want to rank them down from my least favorite down to the best. And this one will probably be in the top 3, guys. So in the number 4 spot, if you want to make a lasting impression, this one can be worn anytime, any season, anytime, because this is one of the best. The Banana Republic have, this one is going to be Grassland. Now you can imagine what this one's going to smell like. You got a little bit of green. What I mean by green, I'm talking about mint, some apple, some petitgrain. But the dry down on this is lovely, guys. I'm talking about that ambergris, that sandalwood, patchouli, a little bit of vanilla, and mossiness. So you're gonna get that green earthiness out of this one, and you're gonna get about 7 or 8 hours. People are gonna smell this and think you got on something very, very expensive. Great for daytime dates, man. This is a wonderful fragrance from Banana Republic. In my top 3 from them, that is Grassland in the number 4 spot. All right, my Fractals family, we are back. And in the number 3 spot, this one's a little bit pricey. If you're trying to make a first impression and your pockets are deep enough, I will go ahead and suggest getting the 2-ounce bottle. I think it's around 200 bucks. This version of Bleu de Chanel takes all the citrus out. So it's just basically giving you the DNA of Bleu de Chanel all in its glory without the citrus. So you're gonna get that powdery note, the woody, the amber, musky, balsamic, the DNA that makes Bleu de Chanel, Bleu de Chanel. You're gonna get all that without the citrus or the brightness, put it that way. So in the number 3 spot, guys, we have Bleu de Chanel L'Exclusif. L'Exclusif, guys. This one's gonna make a first impression. You're gonna get about 8 to 10 hour projection out of this one. Like I said, this is Bleu de Chanel on Bleu de Chanel. That DNA, that smell DNA that makes Bleu de Chanel, it's amped up all the way. They took all the citrus out of it, so it's not as bright, but it's very deep and it's very complex. People are gonna smell this and they're gonna say, hey, this guy's about business. This guy knows what smells good. This is one of the smells when people smell it, they're gonna be like, what's that? What do you suggest I buy? You know, they're gonna be the ones that think you're the expert after smelling this one, man. Making a first impression, this is the one you wanna wear, or you can wear the Parfum, you know. We only got 6 spots. You all about business, you wanna make the first impression, go ahead and get the L'Exclusif if your pockets are deep enough. A little pricey. If you want the Bleu de Chanel DNA on your skin, in all of its glory, this is the one I suggest you get, guys. In the number 3 spot, we got Bleu de Chanel L'Exclusif. All right, guys, we're back. And in the number 2 spot, we're talking about first impression fragrances, guys. In the number 2 spot, this is probably one of the cheaper ones in the fragrance lineup. It does a good job. You're gonna get at least 8 hours of projection and longevity out of this fragrance. This house has been doing some great work, man. And I've been fairly impressed with what they've been coming out with as far as this lineup. In the number 2 spot for making the first impression, we're gonna put in Réhan Terre, guys. That frankincense, vanilla, amber, benzoin, man, it does a wonderful job, guys. Smells good. This is gonna make a first impression, a good first impression. People are gonna be like, oh man, this man smells like money. This is a man's man. He's mature. He knows what he wants. First impression, you know, people are gonna like what they smell on you. So in the number 2 spot, we ain't gonna talk too much about it because it's been glazed enough on the internet. But Réhan Terre in the number 2 spot for first impressions. All right, guys, in the number 1 spot, this one might be a little bit pricey, but to me, this is one that's gonna make a great first impression every time you spray it. Like I said, a little bit on the pricey side. That's about pretty much with all the Gucci ones, but this one might be the most expensive in the Gucci line, along with the Absolute. This one here, we're gonna put in the number 1 spot. That is Elixir de Parfum. Great first impression, guys. Definitely an oriental woody fragrance. You're gonna get the top note, a little bit of orange blossom, nutmeg, middle notes. You got some orange blossom and orris, base of vanilla and ambro fix. I think that's a synthetic that they add in here, I'm not sure, but whatever it is, it does good. You're gonna get at least 8, 9, 10 hour projection on this one, guys. So like I said, first impressions, that's what we're talking about. So you wanna spray this and not have to bring a decant with you. You're gonna spray it at home, go out and handle business. It's gonna last through the whole trip. So, you know, 8, 9, 10 hour projection, no doubt. This is gonna be your number 1 spot, guys, to make that first impression. Gucci Guilty de Parfum. Gucci Guilty, I'm sorry. Elixir de Parfum. And if you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate it. Say we're trying to roll out a video a day this whole week, just trying to see if the analytics change as far as if I put out more videos, they will push out more of my content. I don't know, but I'm just trying it out, coming up with ideas of if you'd like me to discuss a topic or cover anything in a collection that you know that I have, mention it in the comments. Like I said, we're gonna come out with another video here, so I will see you guys tomorrow. I am Fragtails. See you guys tomorrow.